Does the sight of your LinkedIn profile right now make you cringe? This is you? Then you need to watch this video, particularly if you're a business owner or somebody wanting to start a company, or maybe you're a sales professional. Your LinkedIn profile is meant to set you up to generate leads and sales for you. If you haven't got it well optimized, you're missing out on huge opportunity. So in this episode 3, I'm going to be taking you through exactly what you need to put on your LinkedIn profile in order to turn it into your own personal sales page. So first things first, before we even dive into optimizing your profile, it's really important that you get clear on who it is you actually help, the problems that you solve for them, and then how you help them overcome those problems. The reason you need to know those few things, because there's no point in going and optimizing your profile if you aren't clear around that. The other thing that you want to take into consideration as well is what makes you stand out from your competitors, because we want to make that abundantly clear on your profile. One last thing that I will leave with you before we go into the profile optimization is I want you to seriously consider niching. Now, niching may not necessarily be in an industry. So for instance, myself, I coach hundreds of people across 40, 50 different industries, right? But my niche is helping them with their personal brand on LinkedIn. That's my niche, that's my zone of genius. So I want you to consider, how can you niche? Because if you try and market to everybody, you're going to just get lost in the noise of everything, and you want to make it really clear. My clients that niche scale so much faster when they do zone in and lock in on one area. So I encourage you to look at that first. All right, now that we've got those first few things really nice and clear, we need to go through and we need to set up your profile better. I want you to think of your profile as a landing page. Now, I just got my very first website, if you could call it that, about 5 weeks ago. Up until then, I've been able to funnel over $500,000 through my LinkedIn profile. By the way, while we are here, please go and add me on LinkedIn. I've got my link to my handle in the description below. Send me a connection request. Let me know you've watched my YouTube video. I love connecting with my audience on there. Okay, so first thing that we want to do with your profile is I want you to make sure that you have got a nice clear photo of yourself, preferably one you smiling. This is going to be the first, I guess, way you can represent yourself with somebody connecting with you. Blokes, please get a nice shot of yourself, preferably not at a wedding as a groomsman, okay? I've seen that a little bit on LinkedIn. Make sure it's from about chest up, smiling. If you have a brand color, it would be really cool to add that into the background of your photo as well. So for mine, for instance, my color is red, so you can see that all throughout my profile. Once we've got your LinkedIn profile photo done, the next thing I encourage you to do is to have a look at your tagline. Now, your tagline is just underneath your name, and it's really important that in that you make it clear as to who you help and the problems you solve for people. Now, let's say, for instance, you are a mortgage broker that helps young couples in their 20s secure their dream home, right? What you don't want to put is that you're a director of mortgage choice, okay? It's boring, it's not really telling people exactly who it is you help. Instead, what you could put in there is helping couples in their 20s secure their dream home, right? It's letting people know exactly who it is they help, and it's more enticing for somebody to click onto your profile and learn more about what you do. So you want to make sure that you've got a little one-liner stating what it is you do and how you help people. Then you can put in your position description. So for instance, for myself, I'm the founder and coach at the Be Known Academy. And that is best to put at the end of your tagline, not at the start. And the reason that is because before somebody clicks onto your profile, they only get to see about the first 5 to 7 words, and you want to make it enticing enough for them to click through. If I had to put founder and coach at Be Known Academy, it's not really telling people exactly what it is I do, and that wouldn't be enticing enough to get people to my profile. So keep that in mind. Next we've got is your LinkedIn banner. Now this is probably the biggest visual thing that people will first see when they click onto your profile, and it's really important that you really nail this. Now with your LinkedIn banner, you need a couple of key things in there. The first one is your company logo. So you want to make sure that you pop that in your banner. I like to put mine in the top left corner, but you just need to make sure that when you do that with your banner as a whole, just make sure that it's mobile friendly, okay? So if somebody was to watch or see your LinkedIn profile on your mobile, that you can see everything. It's not hidden behind the profile photo, and it's desktop friendly as well. So put your company branding on there. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to have a tagline, and you essentially regurgitate what you've got in your headline underneath your name. You want to pop that in your banner, and then you want a really nice clear call to action. So on my profile currently, what I've got is for people to join my 90-day Dare to Be Known program, and there's a link for them to go and join that. So that's what I've got currently. If you are interested in that 90-day program, there is a link in the YouTube description as well for that as well. I've also got a photo of myself on the right-hand side of my banner. Your call to action could be something really simple. It could be send me a message to learn more, send me an email, book in a call, whatever it is, but you want to make sure it's really nice and clear for people. Next we've got is the contact info. So in there, you can put information such as your website, you can put your email address, phone numbers, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, pop that in there. So that way, if somebody is interested in your services, they're able to reach out to you. Next, we have got is your about section. Now, I'm not going to dive super deep into the about section right here because I've actually filmed a separate training which really dives into this. So if you want access to my free LinkedIn profile guide, just click the link below, and there's a full 40-minute training and a PDF guide which will step you through exactly what to put in there. But from a high level, essentially, you want to make a few things abundantly clear. You want to make sure that people know who you help, the problems you help people solve, as well as how they can get in touch with you and how you can actually help them, and make sure that there's a call to action at the bottom. Now, I really dive into depth with this, and this is something that I see most people struggle with. Often they either leave it blank, or they do big paragraphs or chunks. I have personally reviewed over 300 LinkedIn profiles, and I would say out of those 300, there were maybe 20 that were set up well. So this is something that's really important that you need to make sure you get right. So go and check out that guide, go and download that guide, and that'll help you out there. The next is your featured section. Now, your featured section can be utilized in a few different ways. For me personally at the moment, I have links to my programs, for my coaching programs in there. I have things like testimonials in there. I've got my LinkedIn newsletter in there. So those are all different things that you can pop in there, and you can also make them really nice and visually appealing, particularly the first three, because that's what's going to first show up when somebody scrolls onto your profile. You've got the activity section. Now, you can have a preference where it shows whether people get to see posts first up or comments. I've just kept mine on posts, so you've got access to that there. And then underneath you've got is your experience. So you want to make sure that's really nice, well laid out. You've got all the companies you worked for, and then there are things that you were responsible for there as well. You've got education next underneath that. You've got skills. Skills is a really interesting one. I have personally never in my life done something that's called endorsed somebody on LinkedIn. I don't know if there is any major value to endorsing people on LinkedIn, but what you can do is list a series of skills that you feel you're in possession of. And then from there, people can endorse you for those skills. So I've been endorsed quite a lot over the years, but it's something that I wouldn't say is a necessity, but it's a nice to have on your profile. Underneath that is your recommendations. And this is really important, particularly if you don't have a website for your business, which I didn't up until 5 weeks ago. But the recommendations allows you to have lots of testimonials from people that you can have displayed on there. So it's just another way to add credibility and proof to your profile. Again, in that profile guide, I take you through how to set that up and how to invite people to leave a testimonial. So just check that link out below, and it's all covered in that training. Those are the main components of what you need to have set up for your LinkedIn profile in order for you to generate more leads. Because what's going to happen is once you get your profile really well set up and you start engaging on the platform, you might go and start posting content. Essentially what you're doing is you're driving traffic to your profile. So you're going to notice that your profile views increase. And with that, we want to make sure that anybody who lands on your profile who is a potential client, you're leaving a good first impression and one enough for them to actually reach out to you, send you a message, or book in an inquiry form with you about your services. So that, in a nutshell, is what you need to have on your profile in order to make sure it's really well optimized to be generating you inbound leads. If you've got any questions, just pop them below the YouTube video. In the next episode, we are going to be covering how to engage on the platform without feeling icky, uncomfortable, salesy, gross. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to feel really confident and comfortable to show up online. So stay tuned for that episode.